What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper, and I wanted to do a quick little video on SHTF weapons and home defense weapons and selecting firearms for home defense and for SHTF. And I recently went to the shooting range with some friends of mine, and they brought their 300 blackout rifles, AR-15s. And both of them had problems with their 300 blackouts jamming on them. And I told them, that it was kind of a mistake for them to buy a 300 blackout as their primary SHTF rifle. And my reasoning behind that was that the 300 blackout is too new for people to really know how effective it is. It hasn't withstood the test of time. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about in this video, and is, when you're selecting weapons for life or death situations where you need to count on these weapons to save your life, whether it's in a firefight, whether it's a home defense, whether it's SHTF, whether it's bear defense or defense against wild animals and predators. Okay, you need to have weapons that have withstood the test of time, whether it's the cartridge, whether it's the specific make and model of the weapon, and the platform. Okay, those are the three main criteria. Okay, the platform has to be time tested and has had to withstand the test of time. The cartridge has to be powerful enough and effective at the ranges that you're going to intend to use it. It has to have good ballistics, terminal ballistics. It has to not jam. It has to not have any kind of catastrophic failures and pressure problems. And then you have your actual make and model of the firearm, where the firearm itself, has to have been tested over a long period of time so that it doesn't break down or jam or fail when you need it the most. Okay, so and that's kind of like, with my friends at the range, I told them, I said, the 300 blackout, it's kind of, in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of the 300 blackout. If any of you guys don't know that yet by now, I think that it's kind of one of those gimmick cartridges that was created during the tactical craze and marketed towards newbie shooters that don't know anything about firearms and cartridges and ballistics, and marketed towards people that are naive and are willing to buy something because they see a YouTube star shooting it, but you need to obviously do your research when you're selecting firearms for life or death situations. Now, if you have a weapon that is not for life or death, then of course you can go with a weapon platform or a specific make and model or cartridge that hasn't withstood the test of time and is more of like an exotic thing or something new. That's fine, because your life is not on the line. If you're just looking for something cool to shoot and something new that you want to test out and have fun at the range with, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you're looking for something to defend yourself, defend your wife, your kids, your parents, your family, you need something that has withstood the test of time. Platforms, make and model, and the cartridge itself. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Okay, here's my 44 Magnum, and you guys have probably seen me show this off a lot. But this is an example of a weapon that has withstood the test of time. All right, the platform has withstood the test of time. The revolver has been used for 150 years. Okay, the first pistol was actually a revolver way before Glocks ever came into the picture, way before Sig Sauers and 1911s and M&Ps. You know, way before those things existed, the revolver was king for, you know, over 100 years. Okay, even until as recently as the 1980s and the 1990s, police officers around the country in the United States were still issued the 357 Magnum revolver as their duty pistol. Okay, it was only in the 90s that they really switched over from revolvers to Glocks and semi-autos. So the platform has withstood the test of time. It's reliable. It works. It has limitations, obviously. It's not as quick to reload, and it has a smaller capacity. It's weak in that area, but it makes up in a lot of other areas. It makes up for that. Okay, it's more reliable than a semi-auto. You can shoot higher pressure and higher power cartridges from it. Okay, like 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, even all the way up to a 500 Magnum. So it can handle higher pressures, but the platform has been proven with the test of time. It's been proven. It's withstood the test of time. I'm not trying to turn this into revolver versus semi-auto debate here, and I'm not trying to bash semi-autos either. I'm just trying to give you guys an example of something that's withstood the test of time. This particular model, this is the Model 29, which was the first 44 Magnum ever made in commercial production environment, okay, where it was mass-produced revolver, was the Smith & Wesson Model 29. That's the same pistol that Dirty Harry used in his movie, okay, or not Dirty Harry, but Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry, he had a Model 29, okay. The Model 29 was one of the first mass-produced 44 Magnum pistols. It's been around for, let's see, 60 to 20, what is that, 60 years, okay. It's been around for 60 years. It's been used by all kinds of different people, from grizzly bear guides and Kodiak bear guides and hunters, all the way to, law enforcement even, and Border Patrol have even used 44 Magnums. So it's withstood the test of time, and then the cartridge, the 44 Magnum cartridge, has withstood the test of time. It's been proven to work against dangerous game. It's stopped grizzly bears, brown bears in Alaska. They've been stopped with 44 Magnums. It's been proven against bad guys. It's a very time-tested cartridge, and it works. Okay, it works, and this is something that I would not hesitate to use during SHTF. And in fact, this is one of my home defense weapons. And I actually even conceal carry this with 44 Specials. And the 44 Specials duplicate 45 ACP in terms of power and ballistics. It's pretty similar to a 45 ACP. All right. So that's just one example. Another example of a platform and a weapon that has withstood the test of time is the pump-action shotgun. All right, this is a Remington 870. Okay, the Remington 870 has been used by police for decades. Okay, it was actually one of the first standard issue police shotguns in the United States, where law enforcement agencies, pretty much every law enforcement agency had an 870, all right, and they still do, all right, and it's withstood the test of time. It's been used in tactical situations. It's been used against bad guys. It's been used by SWAT teams. It's withstood the test of time, the Remington 870. The pump-action shotgun, okay, the pump-action shotgun has withstood the test of time. Okay, it's been around for a long time, and it works. Okay, it doesn't jam as long as you know what you're doing and you don't short stroke. You do a full cycle of the bolt. You pull it all the way down and then all the way back. It's going to work. Okay, the 12 gauge buckshot, okay, which is what I have here on my side saddle. The 12 gauge buckshot has proven itself to work, okay? So these are just some examples, all right? But I wanted to just talk about that because, like I said, I was at the range recently and my friends were having trouble with their 300 blackouts. That, you know, it was constantly jamming on them. No matter what ammunition they used, whether it was subsonic or higher velocity, it was constantly jamming, and to me that's unacceptable. You know, if you have a weapon that you're going to use to defend your life, it has to be reliable and it has to have withstood the test of time. So my suggestion to you guys is, if you're going to buy a weapon to defend your family for SHTF or even for hunting and for bear defense or dangerous game defense against predators, look for things that have withstood the test of time. You know, the platform, the make and the model, and also the cartridge. You know, so I'll just throw out some examples. You know, bolt action Winchester Model 70 in 3006. You know, that's a very good cartridge for hunting, and you could even stop a bear with that with heavier bullets. Pump action 12 gauge in the Mossberg 500 or 590 or Remington 870 with 12 gauge slugs or buckshot. Okay, those have withstood the test of time. Revolvers, you know, Smith & Wesson, Ruger in 357 or 44 mag or 38 special, Glock 9mm, you know, those have withstood the test of time. Stay away from exotic things. Okay, stay away from 300 blackout or, you know, 6.8 millimeter SPC. You know, stay away from things that have not actually been proven to work. Okay, I'll argue that even the 5.56 has not really withstood the test of time. And you know, by waiting to see, the test of time is important because it takes time for cartridge, just like anything else. All right, if you buy a car that's, let's say, a model that was just made last year, you know, it takes time for people to realize the problems with that car. You know, it's not just gonna happen overnight. So that's why if you have cartridges and pistols that have worked for 50 years or 100 years, you know that they're going to continue to work. Okay, but if you have something brand new like a 300 blackout with some AR-15 manufacturer that, you know, you've never even heard of before, you don't know if that's going to work. Okay, because there hasn't been enough people to actually test it out, not just at the range, but on live, you know, in live combat. You know, for example, the 300 blackout has not even been tested in combat that much. Okay, the 5.56 has been tested, the 308 has been tested, the 3006 has been tested, the 300 Win Mag has been tested, the 338 Lapua has been tested, and the 50 cal have been tested. All those cartridges have been tested extensively, and they've been proven to work. Okay, 5.56 is questionable. The military's trying to replace the 5.56, but 308, 3006, you know, they've been extensively used by militaries all across the world, and it's just better off getting something that has withstood the test of time, a good company, a reliable platform, and a cartridge that has been proven to work in combat, in hunting, dangerous game defense, home defense. You know, stick to things that there's a lot of information about and that have withstood the test of time. All right, avoid new and exotic things because you don't know if they're going to work when you need them to. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you got something out of it, and as always, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere.